Hey guys, thanks for jumping in to another edition of the Dabbling Angler. Today we're going to do a little video on the drop shot. So fall fishing, water temps starting to cool, bass are getting a little aggressive, they're looking for bait fish, and it's not going to be long and it's going to be winter and we're really going to end up slowing down. And so now is the time that that drop shot is going to get a little bit more active use for a lot of us. So if you're like me, I've had some trouble, with the drop shot, tying the knots, not getting the hook on properly, worried about that knot at the hook, if it's gonna break or not, worried if I'm fishing at the right depth. You tie everything on and you throw that out there and you're not at the right depth in the water column. It may not make a difference how great of a drop shot bite there is if you're not in the right place. So today I'm going to show you just a new way of doing it, something that I ran across kind of bouncing around online the other day, and seems like it makes a ton of sense to me, so hopefully it does to you. So I've got my got a spinning rod here that we're going to rig, and the things that you're going to need are some bobber stops, your drop shot hook, and your drop shot weights. Now today I'm gonna fish with the drop shot today. I'm gonna fish with the rig that I'm gonna do, and it's a little windy here today, so I want a little heavier weight. So I'm gonna use a 3/16 cylinder, but certainly whatever weight you choose, go for it. So what we're going to do here, let me grab my line. So I've got my fluorocarbon leader, and what we're going to do first is we're going to get one of these bobber stops on. So feed that guy through and get this bobber stop on the line. Okay, so got him on there. Hopefully you can see that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hook on. Now be careful with your rod, but be careful about how you put your hook on. So you want to make sure that it's sitting properly. So you want that hook, I want to feed like this. So you're going to want it to look like this when you're feeding your line through. If you do it the other way, if you come in from the underside, your hook's not going to be sitting out. You're not going to get the presentation you want. So we're going to go there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put another bobber stop on. So hopefully you guys see what we're going here. One of the videos I saw for this, they called it a reverse drop shot. I'm not sure why it's a reverse drop shot. I'm just going to say it's an alternate rigging. So we're going to get this bobber stop on. Alright, so now I have two bobber stops, and what I've in fact allowed me to do is now I have more free-flowing bait. I got a hook that's going to bounce in between the middle, so as I pull the line up, it's going to slide down, and then the bait's going to float back up, and then when I pop the line down, pop the line up again, it's going to slide back down, and then from that point all we need to do is get our weight on here. So now here we go. Now I have my presentation. So I can now adjust what part of the water column I want to fish, right? I can adjust the distance that I want my hook to travel. And I've tied, actually in this case, 0 knots. So I've wasted less line I know it's hard to believe, but I don't have sponsors that pay for line for me. I don't have sponsors that pay for hooks or pay for weights or bobber stops or any of that. So I'm doing all this on my own, just like you are, more than likely. And now I have a more efficient way to fish a drop shot, and I don't have to constantly retie to try to find what part of the water column I need to be in. I can just slide these bobber stops up, and now I have all of a sudden changed my depth by a foot. So pretty neat concept there. Now all that's left is your favorite drop shot bait. I'm gonna probably fish with some swim bait today. I may throw, I've got a couple other baits that I may throw on there, but I have that Z-Man little tiny swim bait, and I also have a 6th Sense swim bait that I want to use. So really, guys, that's it. Pretty simple, I think. The keys again, let's make sure that when you put that hook on, that it is sitting properly, so the presentation of that bait is correct. If you do it the other way, if you come in from the bottom side of the hook and rig it, your hook is going to not present itself properly. Get both of those bobber stops on, and again, you mess around with it. Distance between the stops could be create a little bit more movement, create a little bit more swimming action. One of the key things that I picked up from the videos that I was watching was make sure you're throwing a bait that floats. If you're throwing a bait that sinks, you're not, this part is kind of pointless. So make sure that you've got something that has a little buoyancy that'll come up a little bit. So I have a few favorites as far as soft plastics that float. I'm sure you have your own. I'm not here to tell you which ones to fish. Again, no sponsorship, so I don't have anybody telling me to tell you what to fish. But just make sure that you find something that floats. And again, mess around with the distance between these. If you want a little more action, a little more distance. If you want less action, shorten up the distance. But go out there and have a good time, enjoy yourself, and hopefully this helps, guys. So until next time, I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Drop a comment if you've tried this technique, and if you have any other tips for anybody else that may watch this video, and be on the lookout for the one after this. Hopefully I'm going to catch some fish using this technique. Until then, guys, y'all take care. Thanks.